Since known records of disability in this world began, disabled people have always been treated differently and less favourably than their neurotypical counterparts. Some saw them as an abomination against God in deeply religious societies and wished death on them. Others have believed that they maybe shouldn't die, but should be isolated from the rest of the world in disability-focused hospitals or institutions simply because of their disabilities. In more recent years, in World War II, disabled people were killed by the hundreds because the Nazi Party considered them unworthy of life. Mainstream social attitudes have changed a lot since then, mainly since the 1980s, when the films Rain Man and Forrest Gump came out in 1988 and 1994 respectively. These films attracted huge neurotypical audiences and changed the way that we see disabled people for the better. They were presented as people with differences who could still do amazing things in their lives just like anybody else. Unfortunately, it took us this long to have these uncomfortable conversations with society. But without them, disabled people would still be seen as inferior of life. I know the attitudes towards these films has changed over time, but regardless of modern opinion, these films changed the way that society saw disabled people in positive ways. At this point, you're probably wondering, who am I? And why am I talking about this specific topic? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Ryan Mullen. I was born in London, UK on the 11th of August 1996. From the age of 2.5, my family noticed differences in the way that I progressed. I wasn't hitting the same milestones as quick as everybody else. In 2002, age 6, after 3.5 years of constant referrals to psychologists and psychiatrists, I was finally diagnosed with High Functioning Autism, or HFA for short. In today's terminology, this would be considered as Autism Spectrum Disorder, or ASD, level 1. I was educated from 2001 to 2018, the first 12 years of which accommodations have been made throughout my mainstream education to suit my personal needs. In 2017, I got my first full-time job as a barman at age 21, and again, accommodations were made to suit my own individual working style. But I am a rare exception. We are now in 2021, 19 years after my initial diagnosis. The upload date of this video is the 11th of August 2021, which is my 25th birthday. Even now, despite attitudes improving, society is still very ableist and far from perfect. Technically, direct ableism is illegal under the Equality Act of 2010. But there are so many forms of indirect ableism in our society that tends to go unnoticed, and because of that, it's not covered in the Equality Act. The fact is, even in 2021, society still doesn't accommodate for the majority of disabled people. You can't just add some lifts and some wheelchair ramps and say that you're accommodating for disabled people. That is the bare minimum. This is not representation, and it is not accommodation. Now for a little bit of information about myself. Growing up, I've always had a love for music and activism. A lot of disability experts would call these my special interests, but I'm just going to call them what they are. They're my passions, they're my loves in life. I sing, I rap, I play the guitar, and I'm okay at music production as well. Unfortunately, even now, disabled people are still not represented in creative industries and creative spaces. People expect disabled people to either excel in academia or sports. And don't get me wrong, we have come a long way to include disabled people in these industries. But what about the disabled singers or writers or chefs or filmmakers or any kind of disabled creative person? What about them? There is a common misconception that as disabled people love rigid rules and lists, that means that they can't excel in creative spaces and creative industries. And seeing as though creativity is all about breaking the rules to create a personal style, that is how this narrative is supposedly justified. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Studies have shown that creativity helps disabled people with confidence, with calmness, with communication skills, with social skills, with attention spans, and so many other different kinds of life skills that they may have struggled with beforehand. Not to mention that disabled people often create their own rules just so that they can be able to adapt to our unaccommodating society. Without music, honestly, I don't know what I'd be doing or where I would be going in my life. The levels of ignorance and denial that disabled people can't be creative is very common and also very worrying, especially in an era that prides itself on so-called equality and self-expression. This is where I come in. In 2020, I had an idea to provide an online safe space for disabled creatives around the world to follow their dreams, express their creativity, and make new friends along the way. An old friend of mine made a comment that my life has gone from strength to strength to strength, and he compared it to climbing a mountain. And that is how I came up with the name for this project, Creative Climbers. I'm also campaigning for equality across the board, dismantling ableism along with other kinds of discrimination, and dismantling common disability taboos that society continues to promote in the hope that we can eventually one day live in a fairer and better world. This is my way of giving my own life a certain kind of fulfillment that helps others at the same time. I will be campaigning on my YouTube channel and on my other social media pages and on my website. The links to all of these are in the description below, alongside my music if you would like to give that a listen as well. My music pages are on Facebook, Instagram and Spotify, and they are called Ryan Online Music. And my Creative Climbers social media pages and websites are titled Creative Climbers, obviously. So that's about it for this video. I hope that gives you guys a little bit of insight about me, who I am, my personal backgrounds, my passions, and what I hope to achieve on this channel. My disability gives me first-hand knowledge on this specific topic. And although nobody or nowhere is perfect, nothing is stopping us from opening our minds and becoming better people living in better societies. It's okay to get things wrong, of course it is, but improvement is the number one thing, and it only takes one person with a positive mindset to make that difference, whether that be online or in person. And if I can help people, then that makes it even better. That's double the reward. Now, my style of activism is very old school. Like, my brain tends to go off of facts rather than opinions or feelings, which is the exact opposite to what most activists are doing in 2021. So forgive me if my style of activism is seen as quite unorthodox or even rebellious maybe. I know not everyone will agree with me on everything, even with factual evidence. But without new opinions, old opinions will continue to take precedence and harm our society. And our world is a very dangerous place right now, not just for disabled people, but with everyone, with human beings in general. The least that I can do is give our communities some hope and some idea of fairness in the hope that our situations across the world improve. And for as long as I have legal rights to free speech under the Equality and Human Rights Act, I'm gonna continue to use them to the best of my ability. Anyway, I'll be uploading to YouTube every Wednesday at 3 p.m. UK time with another Creative Climbers music stroke disability activism style video. If you'd like to see more content on my social media pages, then don't forget to click those links and follow me in the descriptions below. And if you like this introduction video, then please give it a like, a comment and a share, because it really does help me out. While you're there, make sure you subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. If you'd like to improve the quality of my services or help me turn this into a full-time career, then please also consider joining my Patreon. The link to that is also in the description below, with my music and my social channels and my website and everything else. And if you do, you will be rewarded with extra exclusive unseen content just for you. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, then welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you're passionate about my cause, I would strongly encourage you to do the same if possible. And if I'm helping you in any way, please let me know. I would love to hear the possible impacts of this channel. And finally, if you're a creative climber like me, then please send me your work. I would love to see and hear what you have created. I'm gonna leave you guys now with an original promotional song that I created purely to promote my YouTube channel and also to give you a little bit of a taster of what my acoustic music sounds like. Production wise, I also composed dance and hip hop music, which also can be found on my Spotify. Apologies for the slight change of clothing and appearance, but I actually filmed this music video the other day. But thank you for watching, guys. Ciao for now. I'll see you next week. I've been Ryan Mullen from Creative Climbers. Peace and love. Born without a motive, just a lifelong love. A love for music given by someone up above. No silver spoon, no reason why. Just something that couldn't pass me by. My diagnosis, man, I used to get judged, and still do, but I still have my love. Proved everyone wrong when I got up on stage. I'll be climbing the mountain till my dying age. 'Cause I'm a creative climber, yeah. 'Cause I'm a creative climber, yeah. I started climbing when I was young, and I won't stop until my life is done. Every step matters, every step I take is closer to the top when my dreams are at stake. Only when I'm at the top will I live my dream. But I face so much affecting my self-esteem. Discrimination, bitchiness and negative vibes. Sometimes I don't want to, but I'll always climb. 'Cause I'm a creative climber, yeah. 'Cause Not everyone around me wants to help me take another leap, but as long as I be myself, I might be able to keep on climbing high, never looking at the bottom, only at the sky. Don't need the past when there's a future of glory. And I realized I could help others with similar stories, impact their lives in many positive ways, fueling creativity and love on my page. 'Cause I'm a creative climber, I'm a creative climber. So welcome, I hope you enjoy your stay. If you know disabled creatives, tell them come my way. Whatever you make, I wanna see and hear it. You can do whatever you want if you believe it. If you become inspired or make new friends, then I've done my job on the page and I won't pretend. That would be the turning point in my life, creating the space that certain people need to thrive. 'Cause we're all creative.